Guys, if they have uninteresting guests again and no content Andes, I'll skip though. I'll try to keep it
Do you work for Warner Brothers Entertainment Inc.?
Oh my god, no shot.
In what capacity?
Hold up.
My title is president of DC-based film productions for Warner Brothers.
Dude, fix the mic, man!
What, if anything, you did prepare to testify for Warner Brothers as to topics 2 through 18?
Is that a pre-recording?
I did not do anything to prepare for this, other than the meeting that I had with the attorneys.
Did Warner Brothers have a contract with Amber Heard
MP7
to perform an Aquaman 2?
Yes, there was maybe an option agreement for her for Aquaman 2.
This is even Aquaman 2, that's cool.
Do you know what it is?
It looks like a standard contract between an actor and the studio.
And which actor was involved in this? Which actor was a
I
part
know
of
you
this
didn't get no,
contract?
I'm trying to fix it.
Amber, it's a contract for Amber Heard for the role of Mera in Aquaman and its sequels.
Which studio contracted with Amber Heard?
Warner Brothers.
When did you come to be the president of DC?
At the beginning of 2018.
Mr. Hamada, was Ms. Heard ever released by Warner Brothers from the Aquaman 2 contract, or what you call the option agreement?
No.
Was she released from her Aquaman 2 contract on or about February 22, 2021?
No.
And now it's gonna resync.
Was Ms. Heard ever rehired for Aquaman 2 by Warner Brothers?
No.
Hmm?
Did Ms. Heard receive a pay increase for Aquaman 2?
No.
Why not?
As a rule, as a company, we go through a lot of trouble when we make our deals with our actors. We get options on them for subsequent movies.
He laughed.
And I think traditionally, prior to me joining the company, every option was renegotiated. And one of the things that we were trying to put a rein in on was not renegotiating every deal, with the understanding that people come in and make these deals and they have an understanding that there will be options and that there is a deal in place. And it was a big part of our philosophy that we were going to hold people to their options moving forward.
Oh, wow, okay.
But did Warner Brothers at any point in time reduce Ms. Heard's role in Aquaman 2?
The role in the film the size of the role in the film that she has was determined in the early development of the script, which would have happened in 2018, I would say.
Well,
So, and from there, beyond normal development, the role sort of, the character's involvement in the story was sort of what it was from the beginning.
Hi.
was her role ever reduced for any reason?
No, I mean, again, from the early stages of the development of the script, the movie was built around the character of Arthur and the character of Orm, Arthur being Jason Momoa and Orm being Patrick Wilson. So they were always the two co-leads of the movie.
Did Warner Brothers ever plan to portray Ms. Heard as the co-lead in Aquaman 2?
No, it was the movie was always pitched as a buddy comedy between Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson.
Was Ms. Heard cast in Aquaman?
Yes, she was.
Was Ms. Heard cast in Aquaman 2?
Yes, she was.
Was Ms. Heard paid for her services in Aquaman 1?
Yes.
Was Ms. Heard paid for her services in Aquaman 2?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Was her compensation for Aquaman 2 affected in any way by anything said by Johnny Depp?
No.
No.
Was her compensation for Aquaman 2 affected by anything said by Adam Waldman?
No.
No.
Was her compensation for Aquaman 2 affected by anything said by anybody representing Johnny Depp?
Chat, do this.
No.
Was there any delay in Warner Brothers exercising the option to cast Miss Heard in Aquaman 2?
Yes, there was.
How long a delay was there?
They're talking about Aquaman and Aquaman 2 for to see her damages, so they can win a countersuit of $100 million, which is
What
an
was the
absurdity.
cause of the delay?
There were conversations about potentially recasting.
Who was the producer?
Peter Safran,
Who was the director?
James Wan.
No.
Did Warner Brothers believe that those concerns were legitimate?
Yeah, I mean, I had no reason not to believe the director and the producer of the movie.
And you are testifying today as a representative of Warner, correct?
Yes, I am.
What, if any, creative
I'll change the guy's
concern
video. Does he have it?
did Warner Brothers have
Check, give me the link to the guy's video.
casting Amber Heard as Mira in Aquaman 2?
It was the concerns that were brought up at the wrap of the first
100 million, yeah,
movie,
100 million.
production of the first movie, which is the issue of chemistry. Did the two have chemistry? I think editorially they were able to make that relationship work in the first movie, but there was a concern that it took a lot of effort to get there.
No video. Got
And
it.
would we be better off recasting, finding someone who had better, more natural chemistry with Jason Momoa and move forward that way?
Did Warner Brothers take any steps
NBC?
affirmatively to audition other actresses for the role of Mira in Aquaman?
No, they don't
2?
have it.
No, we did not.
Other than the creative concerns and concerns about chemistry you testified about, was there any other reason Warner Brothers delayed in picking up Miss Heard's option for Aquaman 2?
I'm looking.
No,
If
it was
shows
all,
it, if
it
it
was
shows it, I'll show
all
it.
concerns about whether she was the right bit of casting for the movie.
What role, if any, did Ms. Heard's dispute with Johnny Depp have in Warner Brothers delay?
Yo, hello? Chat.
Aquaman 2?
Stop it.
No, it was all concerns about whether she was the right bit of casting for the movie.
What role, if any, did
This ends in, I
Ms.
think,
Heard's
2 days. 2
dispute
days.
with Johnny Depp have in Warner Brothers delay picking up Ms. Heard's option for Aquaman 2?
Now, this is
There
important.
was none from our end.
Man, as soon as the guy's not lying, but if he is, I mean, it's bad.
At any point in time, was Warner Brothers considering paying Ms. Heard more money for Aquaman 2 than is set forth in the option contract you previously identified?
No, as I said, we were determined to hold our actors to their option agreements.
Would Warner Brothers have paid Ms. Heard more money on Aquaman 2 if it had picked up her option earlier?
No,
Does that mean that the lady say lied?
At any time from the beginning of history through today, did Warner Brothers ever release Ms. Heard
So she lied.
from the Aquaman 2 contract?
no,
At any point in time from the beginning of history to today, did Warner Brothers rehire Ms. Heard for Aquaman 2?
no, because we just picked up her option.
And when is the last time you spoke with Rob Cohen relating in any manner to whether to exercise the option on Amber Heard for Aquaman 2?
No, it would have been at the same time that I was having those conversations with Peter Safran
So
in 2020.
did you speak with Zack Snyder at all relating to whether to exercise the option for Amber Heard on Aquaman 2?
No. I've not had any conversations with Zack Snyder.
Did you speak at all with Jason Momoa in preparation for your deposition today?
No.
Have you ever spoken with Jason Momoa about any issues relating to chemistry between he and Amber Heard?
Yes.
When did you speak with Jason Momoa about chemistry
About the
issues
same time?
between he and Amber Heard?
It would have been in that same time period where we were prior to green light of the movie.
Now, you were asked some questions about scripts. Did you review any of the drafts of the script for Aquaman 2?
Yes.
When?
Part of my role is I read all the drafts of the scripts as they come in.
When was the first script for Aquaman 2?
Oh, boy. I cannot tell you. Probably in 2018, latter part of 2018 would be my guess.
And how many versions of the script had been written by the beginning of 2021 for Aquaman 2?
Oh, there were probably half dozen drafts of the script.
All right, what, if anything, did Rob Cowan say to you about chemistry? What specifically about the chemistry between Amber Heard and Jason Momoa?
Just the fact that they didn't really have a lot of chemistry together. The reality is it's not uncommon on movies for two leads to not have chemistry, and that it's sort of movie magic and editorial, the ability to sort of put performances together, and with the magic of, a great score and how you put the pieces together, you can fabricate sort of that chemistry. And so I think at the end of the day, I think if you watch the movie, they look like they had great chemistry. But I just know that through the course of the post-production that it took a lot of effort to get there.
Yeah,
sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's very easy. You just put the characters on the screen together and they work. And sometimes it's harder. And so...
Can you give me anything more specific about what it was with Amber Heard and Jason Momoa that was difficult for the chemistry?
No, because it's like what makes a movie star a movie star. Like you know it when you see it, and the chemistry wasn't there.
Now, you've used the term fabricated a number of times. What did you do to fabricate the chemistry between Amber Heard and Jason Momoa?
Well, those are just, it's editorial. A good editor and a good filmmaker can pick the right takes, can pick the right moments, and put scenes together. Again, score is a big, the music in a scene makes a big difference. You can make a happy scene feel sadder or a sad scene feel happier. And so it was sort of it's just the magic of post-production, editing, sound design, music, etc.
Oh, man.
What do you mean by fabricating, though? I mean, were they literally falsifying, or were they just picking the best music? Let me finish my question. Were they picking the best music and picking the best looks because that's their job and that's what you do on every scene?
That is what we do in post-production. That's what filmmakers do.
Molding.
No, yeah. This is... On any production, you're doing that. You're putting performances together. Sometimes it's easier than others. This one was more difficult because of the lack of chemistry between the two. But they were able to, James Wan and the editor were able to get it to a place where the end result actually works, and it's great.
And in fact, that's the job of every filmmaker, right? Is to put all the combinations together to make the most successful production.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what has been marked as exhibit number 5. It's ALH 18247. And this is a text message exchange between James Wan and Amber Heard. And you mentioned James Wan was the director of Aquaman 2. Is that correct? And Aquaman, the first one, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And James is texting to Amber on August 25, 2018. You rated really high with the audience, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Do you see that?
Yes.
This is August 25, 2018.
Man,
What's going on August 25, 2018 that would cause the director to send a text message to Amber saying...
That'd be a test screening. So during our post-production of the movie, we test the movie with an audience, and the audience tells us what they liked and what they didn't like. And so that's what he's referring to there.
And they really liked Amber Heard, correct?
Yes, she did. She tested well.
It hit $1 billion, is that correct?
Yeah.
And more specifically, did you play any role in the determination to communicate to Amber's representatives that Warner Brothers was considering not exercising her option?
Yeah, probably in the sense of we had the conversations, and I believe, if I recall, we had...
Sorry.
That's where Peter Safran offered to reach out to the agent and express which direction we were leaning.
Have you seen any document that says there was any chemistry issues between Amber Heard and Jason Momoa in Aquaman 1?
Documents? No, I mean, those were all conversations.
But if Jason came back and James Wan came back, you were guaranteeing that Amber Heard would play Mira, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And Jason
It doesn't seem like he's
Momoa
lying, I don't think.
was able to negotiate a different compensation structure, was he not, for Aquaman 2?
That's true. He did renegotiate.
Now, Aquaman was the highest grossing DC film ever for Warner Brothers, was it not?
Yes, it was.
And what, if any, issues did you have with Amber Heard in Aquaman 2?
My understanding is actually the production went very smoothly.
All right, thank you. Your next witness.
That's it? It's gonna be so good. VLC. Any VLC
we
users
call
in chat?
Dr. Kulber next, but I know we have a preliminary matter that we need to deal with briefly, if we may approach.
Sure.
Alright, this better be good. Food's 7 minutes away. I can't wait.
Yes. Are you ready for the jury?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you count to 5 for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Huh.
I'm just trying to get you on the big screen. We're waiting for the jury. Just give us a minute, okay, sir?
What is this? Skype?
Thank you.
Biggest California office. Oh, he has air on. I respect it. What? It's his chair? It's called a Herman Miller Aeron. So see these people, I call them half-based. Here's what they're half-based, that they buy a Herman Miller, but they buy an Aeron. A real base, the person buys a embody. If you need a good chair, you buy embody.
All right, sir, if you could raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would just object that Dr. Kulber appears to have a stack of documents right in front of him.
All right, sir, you can put your hand down, and any documents you have, if you could put them away and just testify from your memory, okay, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, your question?
Good morning, Dr. Kulber.
Morning.
Yeah,
Could you please state
documents.
your full name for the record?
David Allen Kulber.
And what is your profession?
I'm a plastic and hand surgeon.
And how long have you been a plastic and hand surgeon?
Been in practice for 26 years.
Where do you currently work?
At Cedars-Sinai Medical Center.
How long have you worked there?
For the past 26 years.
Do you know the plaintiff in this action, Johnny Depp?
I do.
And how do you know Mr. Depp?
I had taken care of him when he had injured his hand.
Thank you, man.
When did Mr. Depp become your patient?
Sometime in March of 2015.
And what type of treatment did you provide to Mr. Depp?
He had a fracture of his finger with soft tissue loss. And so we reconstructed his finger.
When did you perform the first surgery on Mr. Depps' finger?
I believe it was around March 20th of 2015.
And what was involved in that surgery, just briefly?
That's a mega pint or someone.
Debriding the vitalized tissue, putting a hypothenor skin graft, restore some of the soft tissue loss that he had, and then also putting a pin in because he had a displaced distal phalanx fracture.
What was the state of Mr. Depps' hand immediately after that surgery? I'm sorry, I think the audio cut out a little bit. Could you please repeat your answer?
It was injured and had soft tissue loss and a fracture of his distal phalanx.
Oh, what about after though?
And what type of cast was on Mr. Depps' hand after you performed that surgery?
It was a plaster splint.
And can you please describe to the jury what a plaster splint would look like?
So it's like a cast, but you don't want to put everything circumferential on it because of swelling after surgery. So I believe in Mr. Depps' case, it was like the two fingers. I think the third finger was the one that was operated on. So these two fingers, the third and fourth finger, are together. And it's a splint with plaster on the top and on the bottom that goes around the hand to protect it.
How mobile was Mr. Depps' hand when it was in that cast?
Well, he couldn't move his third and
Grome
fourth
off wall
fingers.
to Grome off wall to
because
Grome off
of
Walter.
the bulkiness of the splint. Typically, post-operatively, it's a more bulkier splint right after the surgery. So it's not very, it gets in the way.
Jim?
Could Mr. Depp grab someone with that cast on his hand?
3 minutes.
He could attempt to grab someone. I don't know how successful he would be. He had his index finger free and his thumb free, but the other fingers were probably not being able to move.
I guess you could go like this, but that's
How long was the pin in Mr. Depp's finger?
About 11 or 12 days.
And how was the pin removed?
It was removed under local anesthesia in my office.
How long did you ultimately treat Mr. Depp for his hand injury?
For several months.
And why was that?
It was a bad injury. It required a few more little office procedures to clean up the tissue. He had an infection as a result of the injury, so he had to be on antibiotics for some time until it finally completely healed.
Do you recall when the infection developed?
It was a few weeks after the surgery, and that's when I took out the pin.
When was the last time that you saw Mr. Depp?
Sometime in 2015. I don't recall when.
And when was the last time that you spoke to Mr. Depp?
The pin, yeah, it's for the bone, I think.
The same. Around 2015.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Kulber.
All right, cross-examination.
Wait, that's it. Oh, they're gonna
Good morning,
recross,
Dr.
right?
Kulber. So
No,
you
I
said that this
think they're baiting.
plaster splint was put on after surgery on March 20th.
I think they're saving time plus baiting type of thing. No, is this not a strategy? Audio, please. Because they're gonna recross, I believe, right? Or yeah. Sir. What's it called again? Law and Order on Twitch. Somebody link it. Audio is dying. Line crime, sorry. I'm so dumb. Okay.
Is that sometimes called half a cast?
I got you.
Sometimes it's called half a cast or a soft cast, something like that, yeah.
And regardless of whether Mr. Depp could have grabbed someone with the hand with the cast on, he could have grabbed someone with the hand without the cast on, correct?
Correct.
One
Michelle,
hand.
can you pull up Exhibit 400, please? This has been admitted, Your Honor.
All right.
One hand grab, by the way. Fucking movie style, dude. Bowser style.
Permission to
War.
publish.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Kulber, I'm just going to ask Michelle here to just scroll through these pictures, and I'd ask you to take a look at them.
What is the echo? Oh, the guy's
Your Honor,
echo.
I'm going to object for lack of foundation for these photographs.
They're already in evidence.
With respect to the questions to the witness.
They're in evidence. Thank you.
Michelle, if you could go back up to that, stop right there. Is there anything about the cast that was put on Mr. Depp's hand on March 20th, 2015 that would have prevented him from doing this damage to Miss Heard's closet on March 23rd, 2015?
You could do this you could do this in a wheelchair.
Overruled.
I mean, he had his other hand available, so.
No further questions. Thank you.
All right, redirect.
What?
Dr. Kulber, how many fingers were in the plaster portion of Mr. Depp's cast?
I believe 2, 3, at least 2 were, and the third one and the fourth one.
And why did you
Bro, please.
Because it's not fully, plaster doesn't go around the entire hand because you allow for swelling. So there's plaster to protect the fracture. So there's a little plaster on it, but it's on the top and the bottom, but it's not completely circumferential. So there's soft spots to it.
and where are those soft spots located again?
Usually we'd put a piece of plaster underneath the fingers and on top, and then the sides of the fingers, it's soft so that the fingers can swell after the surgery.
Could Mr. Depp have hit someone with the hand that had the cast on it?
No.
He could have hit someone with it. It probably would have injured, damaged the cast.
Did you ever notice any damage to Mr. Depp's cast when you treated him after the surgery?
I don't recall. But nothing that comes to mind.
Could Mr. Depp form a fist with the cast on?
No.
No further questions. Thank you, Dr. Kulber.
All right. Thank you, sir. That completes your testimony. Thank you. All right. Your next witness.